Oh, well, we were then in the war. So things were very different during the war years because we couldn't have things, we didn't have things. You couldn't do things because of blackouts. You could only get a certain amount of food. You were rationed for your clothes. You had clothes coupons. So during that time it was a difficult time to cope. You lived with blackouts and things like that. It wasn't.
Were you oftentimes afraid during the war?
Oh yes, because we had the bombers coming over and bombing. And
at the time, as a child, did you understand at all the implications of what was happening?
no, I don't think so. I don't think so.
And that all of this that you were going through was for a greater cause, something like that? Or was it more that you were understanding it as a child? Did your parents try to explain at all what it was about?
Oh, I'm sure, yes, my father would, because he was in the previous war. And so he did try to explain everything. Yeah.
Do you ever remember listening to Winston Churchill on the radio?
Oh, yes, always. Yeah. He's a great inspirer, you know. He spoke very well.
And
He's a bit like your present man,
Barack Obama?
Barack Obama. He was a very good speaker.
And was it your family that would huddle around the radio and listen to him?
Oh, yes, definitely.
After the war ended, do you remember that day that the war ended? VE Day?
Well, I do. I remember the festivities and yes, all the music and everything that was going on. Definitely. And I went to. John was in college then, in university, and they were going to have some celebrations up there in the university. So I got on a train and went up to Newcastle and had celebrations there.
Do you remember, did you attend school during the war?
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
Do you have any specific memories on what school was like, talking to other kids during the war?
Well, it was such an it was so normal to us because the war went on for a long time. And we just seemed to be living through wartime events and bombings and hearing the planes go overhead all the time, setting off at night on bombing raids and bombs being dropped. It was very, very normal in our childhood because, it went on for so long, day and night.
Did you have to wear a gas mask?
Oh, yes. We were all trained and we had to carry them everywhere we went. They were supplied by the government.
Do you ever remember the Queen's actions during World War II? Ever